Hello, everybody, and full interest is the one. My Hero Academia episode. Help.
It's a lot. We're just gonna say season 3, episode 16.
Are we? Do we have to? Okay.
I'm not keeping track of the big numbers. What do you think I am, a math person?
You just said a bunch of numbers, so yeah.
um, so this episode is continuing off the last episode with the exams. Actually, the provisional licensing exams actually starting to happen now.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, let's go for UA, and then you get there's the one guy who can harden any object he touches except for like anything living. Which, if you think about that, that's like it's like Kirishima's quirk, but different in a sense.
Kind of. Yeah, I do want to point out there was a moment, like, right at the beginning before any of that happened, I think, where it's Joke talking to Eraserhead again.
Yeah.
And I just want to point out, Joke is fucking built.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can tell in the shoulders, she's fucking powerful.
She's a pro
She's
hero.
a powerful woman, is what I'll say.
She's the type of like when we saw briefly like the explanation on her, we saw her making people laugh and then punching them. Like she went the Aizawa route of I'm not just going to rely on my quirk, I'm also going to have actual combat experience and abilities so that I can work with that.
Yeah.
So Joe could knock you out.
Mm.
And she says yeah. She says, don't you think you're underestimating everyone? Or like isn't that condescending coming from you with the whole oh yeah, we look a little farther ahead.
Yeah.
I was like
and it's earned. So shut up, basically.
Yeah, shut up. So then you get to see some of the rival school kids' abilities. The guy who can basically boomerang and send anything along a trajectory, even underground, it will just make its way to its target.
Mm.
Kind of like I want to say dead shot, but I think I'm thinking bullseye or something. There's somebody who can do that.
Probably, but I don't think either of those do that. I think their whole thing is that, yeah, they're just really good shots. This guy's thing is he can make anything, basically a homing missile, a magic bullet, that will just go to its target, regardless of anything else. Which makes Boomerang a not great name for him. Like, boomerangs don't do that. They always go back to the person that threw them. That's... Never mind. It's not important. So, yeah, he does that, and Jiro's like, okay, you throwing them underground? Plugs in her gauntlets kind of thing, and shockwave through the earth.
Heartbeat distortion.
Yeah. Which she used to just do with her leg amplifiers, which was just through the air. Just a massive sound blast. Sonic blast, I suppose, technically speaking. Yeah. But yeah, now she can just use that as an impact force as well, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. That actually does help her out a lot in terms of what she can do.
Mm. So that happens, and all the things are thus revealed, so the whole homing thing doesn't really work out as well as they really wanted it to. It turns out the homing shots were all aimed for Mineta, because easy target, because he sucks. So, doubly proving he sucks, he gets saved by Mina with her special move, which is just she shoots acid in
acid veil. It's literally just making a shield of acid. Like, okay, it's simple but effective.
I mean, it's making a shield of acid by shooting acid, and it lasts for exactly as long as you would expect it to in that circumstance. Yeah. But sure, okay, if you say so.
Like I said, it's simple but it works.
Mm.
And Tokoyami pulls out his what do you call it now? Just Dark Abyss.
Dark Ankh, I think, was the actually like he actually says Ankh as in the Egyptian symbol.
Yeah, Dark Ankh was what it was in the manga at least. Okay,
Yeah.
they just translated it weirdly.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that, but
Yeah,
sure, whatever.
and
Like I get the idea for why he calls that because the Dark Shadow kind of looks like an Ankh with the big head shape and then the arms. It makes sense. But I don't know why they would change the name, but oh well.
so sends that after the one girl who just like turtles up because her ability is just she can fool herself in on herself like a turtle.
Which
I don't think that's how it really works.
yeah. Also, how is that useful in heroing?
Well, I imagine
Like logically,
it depends
you
on
would,
it
you would
depends
think of it
on-
like okay, it's like a pressure thing. She can turtle
Yeah.
up, and then the pressure would then she would explode outwards. But she doesn't do that. She has to pull herself out of it.
I wonder if it's possible for her to do that.
That would be cool, but she doesn't have that, and by this point, you would think she would if she's still in hero training and she's assumed a second year at least.
But could you imagine if you could just like pull your punch out and just like you do a One Piece thing?
Yeah, like a
Basically,
spring
You
punch
gotta,
kind of thing,
you gotta
yeah.
basically fight like you're made of a spring, and that could work. But she doesn't seem to really. It seems to be either defensive or like good for throwing feints, for example.
Hmm.
But honestly, there's a reason why she didn't get into UA. So
Yeah, and there's a reason why she doesn't pass the exam as well. Spoilers. So that happens, and Deku gets separated from everyone in the chaos after what's his name, Joker Hair, does his
everybody
earthquake
has
ability.
a different name for him. Like the Team Foresight guys were calling him Negadeku.
I could see that, but no, he has Persona 5 Joker Hair is what he has, and I can't see anything else in that character design.
But he basically just does an earthquake and just
Yeah, he does Jiro's move, but bigger,
Mhm.
basically. And yeah, that breaks up everything. Deku gets separated from everyone else, and he's on his own with somebody. I'm so subtle. I'm so subtle. It's great.
You're not okay. But
I
he
don't
gets
know what her
separated.
name is though. That's the thing. I don't know what her name
Kami.
is. Kami. I thought she was a mermaid. One Piece joke reference.
But he ends up getting separated and then targeted by her.
Mm.
Meanwhile, I think before we get to that, we cut to the one Shiketsu guy who is just, I'm just going to use this win to just knock out 120 people.
Yeah, every now and again we get cuts to the what's I suppose referee, like manager kind of guy, who is doing announcements of when people pass, and he's like, "It's taking a while. If you guys could hurry up and start passing so that I can sleep." And then this happens, and 120 people drop out at the hands of one dude. It's like, "Whoa," with the big eyes and everything, yeah.
I'm awake.
I'm awake. All right, so something just happened, and 120 people are down, and one person passed. So good for that guy, I guess. All right, I guess you guys need to pick up the pace. Everyone else.
But yeah, Deku ends up finding himself facing off against Kami, who is very good at just disappearing from his sight, and it's like, I'm kind of interested in you. You're so cool. Let me just show you what I got. And takes out one of his targets like immediately before that even happens. And then as they're battling other members of the other examinees, examinees, yeah. They join in and they're like, we're gonna get you. And Deku's like, okay, no. I am surrounded. I am alone.
Yeah. Before that, there's a whole thing with her explaining how she can actually just seem to appear and disappear on the battlefield. It's not her quirk or anything like that. It's just the skill that she has that she's really, really good at. And he's like, "What? They teach you at the hero school? That's okay."
Yeah.
At Shiketsu, and she doesn't really answer.
One thing is, we do cut over to Ochiko briefly, who's like, Deku's alone. I need to go find him, essentially. And, anyways, their fight gets interrupted. Kami and Deku's fight gets interrupted by all these people, and that at that point, Ochiko appears. It's like, "Don't worry, Deku. I'll save you. I don't have a plan though."
Yeah.
And then she falls, and he runs, and he saves her, and they escape.
Yeah, and there's a whole thing explaining how his new boots work. That basically it's like a double hit kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like he can kick with the power of full cowling, and then it will immediately hit again because of the recoil in the boots, or something like that.
Yeah. His boots have a special like toe part that locks in. So it sticks out when he kicks, bang, and then it pushes in, so then he hits again with the same movement.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool as far as that goes. So they're hiding behind a rock, him and Ochiko, and he's just kind of peeking around a corner and like just watching out for seeing whether they're being followed. And Ochiko reaches over and tries to ding him with one of her balls. And he's like, "Get that out of here." Slaps it away.
It's like, yeah, no. First of all, I was immediately suspicious when Ochiko didn't use her one move, which was to make herself float.
Also, she didn't have a plan, and she usually has a plan if she's going to do something.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're better than mine, which is an established thing. Thank you, Tournament Talk, with the best fight in the series.
And so he's like, "Yeah, you're not her, but I wanted to save you anyways because that fall could have actually potentially hurt your back or your head."
Yeah, you don't have her quirk, which means you were actually in danger there regardless of you not being her.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Ochiko turns out to be Kami. That's her quirk, is that she can disguise herself as other people. And also now she's naked. I think. She has some sort of, I don't know what kind of, if that's an outfit or something. I think it is. She has like a skin suit on. Kind of similar to Midnight.
Yeah, okay. For the sake of the anime, I suppose that's technically true, yes.
Yes, for the sake of the anime, they have to. And she lost all the targets on her, so it's like no real point to.
Sero shows up to bail Deku out, basically.
With Ochiko.
Yeah, and he's like, "What the hell are you doing in this enviable position?" Okay, priorities, but sure.
It's worth noting, like Sero and Mina did fight against Midnight, so like Sero's bit of a perv, but like he's still a cool guy. Like he's not like Mineta at all.
Yeah. But
they're established. Yeah, so you guys are real, right? It's like, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, so her quirk is a whole thing where she can turn into other people. So just be on the, eyes on a swivel kind of thing.
Yeah, be very careful. Because, like, we can't go after her right now because she doesn't even have the targets, so... Yeah,
because Sarah says they should probably go after her and tries to, and Deku's like, no, there's no point. We can't hit her target, she can hit ours. There is no benefit to doing that for us. Yeah,
So, Sero, Ochiko, and Deku team gonna go and mess things up. cut over to Todoroki, who finds himself cornered by the Power Ranger ninjas.
Yeah. That.
Yeah.
Horikoshi has inspirations. That's fine. I get it.
To be fair, in this setting, rather than them being actually ninjas, it just makes them look like a bunch of, like, otakus or weebs.
Yeah, a little bit.
And that's hilarious.
I can kind of understand it in setting, though. Like, they're setting themselves up as, hey, we're going to, like, form a hero agency, and this is going to be our shtick. That makes sense.
It's marketable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he just, he immediately freezes all of them, and he's like, yeah, no. And then one person's just like, oh, yes. And they throw a little, like, nut at him, and it grows humongous.
Yeah, it's literal just fucking detritus from, like, machinery. Just, like
like nuts and bolts
and things like
screws, nails. Just like all these small things can turn them huge and then throw them at you, which is a really good power if you can just control that.
Yeah,
it's like not full Ant-Man or anything, but like just on a whim, anything can be a weapon.
Yeah, a lot of the quirks we're seeing in this exam are basically quirks we've already seen, but just instead of being you can do this to yourself, you can do it to objects. That's a lot of what we're seeing here. Like, gigantification is Mountain Lady, and the hardening thing is
Hiroshima,
yeah. So there's a lot of that, and that's fine. That makes sense.
It makes sense to be lots of variations on the same, essentially, basic power. Because you'd imagine this setting being able to, say, harden your body and then harden other objects at the same time would be stupid busted in the right circumstances.
Yeah. Also, I want to point out the whole Todoroki tries to burn the thing to get it away because, he's used a lot of ice so far, and it doesn't work, and he has to dodge out of the way. And Otaku Ninja is like, yeah, that wasn't going to work because these are made of tungsten, which have a really high melting point. Gonna point out, tungsten is actually a really fragile metal. If you try and just hit it like that, then it will just break. So if you're throwing it at people, then it's just going to shatter.
Well, is it pure tungsten, or is it like a tungsten alloy?
He just said tungsten.
Well,
yeah, that's artistic license for you. That's not knowing physics.
When you grow
that's
up
fine.
big, does it work the same? Because that's a lot of tungsten.
Yeah, in fact,
So,
if anything, it would be even more fragile because either if you gigantify something, you're either making the molecules themselves bigger, or you're making more of the molecules, or you're spreading the molecules out. One of those would just make it more fragile. One of those would just leave it with the same problem, and it's just bigger. And one of those... no, all of those would just have the same problem, regardless of how it works.
Well, science in this setting is inconsistent.
Yeah, like I say, this is... Artists aren't scientists, and space battles shut the fuck up already, basically, is where that lands, really.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, I'm not bothered by it, though.
Yeah, I'm just pointing it out. It's a thing.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's essentially it for the episode. It's just like you get the guy counts up of like, 55, 56, 58 people have passed so far. Hurry up, type thing.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much it. Was there anything else?
Not that I can remember immediately. Just some small minor cuts to the announcer, I think. But nothing too major.
Yeah.
It's a nice, fun episode.
Yeah. It's some nice, good fights, some cool super moves and shit. It's all good. Can't really complain.
I really do just... I know he said it's stupid, but the ability to just turtle up, I think it's amazing. Because it's like, it would have been so easy to make it just spring, but no. Some people have to have the lame powers.
Yeah, I guess, but then some people with the lame powers should not be in the hero courses, is my logic with that. Like, we saw a bunch of people with lame powers, like the guy that can pull his eyes out of his skull and just stretch them like that. Like,
I imagine
he was one of the dudes in Deku's class in middle school.
If Mineta can get in, sure. I like. Here's the thing, right? You're not going to have the same entrance exam for every school. So the question is, what was their entrance exam that would allow her to get in?
I have no idea.
You know, and I guess that's really where the buck stops. I guess if it turns out like maybe the exam was to be more creative and not just use brute force, you could have found a way to get through. But
yeah,
she made it in.
Like the main UA exam was all brute force, and maybe they had something similar to another exam we see later, where it's more like a race. Like, you have to get to the objective because someone is hurt or needs help, or there is some situation that needs more people to assist, and it's just get to this place as fast as you physically possibly can. Which, for someone with a turtle body, probably helpful. You can like get through small spaces and just cross that kind of terrain really easily. So maybe
heroes don't have to have flashy powers. It's just that that's the most marketable, and that's something the show itself acknowledges. So, hey, good on you, Turtle Lady.
Sure.
You're representing all the weirdos out there.
Yeah, I mean, we still don't know what the black guy's power is. Like, his quirk is literally he's black. That's
that's a superpower.
Like, I'm not even joking. Like, his skin is literally black, not as in African.
I know. It's just...
And his bio says his quirk is black. So, yeah. Not every power is a great one, and maybe you can excel without a great power. Like Deku might have been more interesting doing, but oh well.
There's something like there's two kind of ends with Deku specifically. It's either A, excel with a not great power, or B, try to struggle to control a power that is literally too good for you.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think I remember there was an interview that originally Horikoshi was going to make Deku quirkless.
Yeah, that was a thing. Like, I think the original concept for it was just a regular dude that was just going to stay a regular dude.
And while that is great, he got convinced. His editor was like, maybe not.
Yeah, like if it's going to be a shonen battle series, which, let's be honest, this concept really was just going to be a shonen battle series, and it would be hard to try and sell it as anything else, then the main character needs a power. He needs to have a power so that he can be in the cool fights and do the cool things, and not just get curb stomped by everyone with just regular martial arts.
So it's just like, okay, I'll give him a power. But this power breaks his arms.
Yeah.
Tiny victory.
It could have been, like, I have to assume that Mei was a character that got added in way down the line. Well, I'll say way down the line, but like a year later. And it could have been cool if they just had him have no powers and she just makes cool gadgets for him to use in cool ways. That could have been interesting, maybe. But that's, you know...
But I think also the basis is Horikoshi had not had a single successful manga until My Hero. So he wasn't expecting it to really get off the ground when he made the one shot.
He did okay. He had a few that... He had at least one that did, like, I think 50 chapters or more.
Yeah, but a
So,
major success like that actually stood out and that people would remember him for it. This just suddenly all of a sudden happened with the one shot, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna make this entire society and flesh it out more. And I feel like the support and normal courses didn't exist until the tournament arc, the sports festival.
yeah, that makes sense.
So it's another way it could have gone. That's what fan fiction's for, you know. See where that goes.
Yeah. Hey Zero, since you bitched out last night when we were doing the whole conversation about the ethics and morality of Stain and the
you
morality
guys
and
were
ethics
just
of Hero
really
as well,
drunk.
I was super fucking drunk.
You were just really
so
drunk
much
and
fun.
rambling into voice call, and I was in another call with some other friends, so I just popped in to say hi. And then I was like, yeah, no, I'm not drunk enough for this conversation.
Yeah, Ryu was taking the position of, yeah, Stain, like, makes sense. He makes some good points. Heroes should not get paid and, like, just do it because they want to be heroes and do the right thing and stuff. And I obviously took the other position of that's fucking stupid. It was really fun.
You can't support yourself if you don't get paid.
I have the audio for that, but unfortunately it has... because I was drunk and then didn't realize I had music playing in the background. It's soundtracked by Coheed and Cambria, which would probably get it copyright struck, unfortunately. So, I don't know. I'll have to do something with that audio. I don't want to listen back to it because I don't quite know how drunk I was.
You should probably just like, I know we're getting off the topic of the video, but that we're doing. But you should probably just like upload that as an unlisted video. And just like post it in the Discord.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. So, yeah, this was a cool episode, though. Like just a lot of very flashy and interesting fights and new powers and things like that. It's not a very deep episode, though there's some nice characterization and relationship building between Deku and Ochako, even though they don't actually spend much time on screen together, really. Mm-hmm. So that's nice and good. Like, if I were to get really, really deep into the shipping wars, I probably wouldn't have picked Ochako, to be honest. But I like that they're developing that relationship in a way that makes sense and it feels real and could progress to that, rather than just saying, this is the canon ship, and then they end up together. Like... a lot of other series do. So
there is attention paid to it.
Yeah.
Like it's not just one-sided either. They both do crush on each other. They're just high school kids who don't have any experience.
Yep.
And that makes complete sense.
It would be nice if there was acknowledgement of, hey, you're not going to stay in a relationship with the girl you went out with in high school for the rest of your life, but that's not going to happen for Japanese culture.
Yeah, especially, like, I don't know, actually. The thing about Horikoshi is he's a Westaboo, you know, he likes American comics and things, so you don't know what exactly he'll do. So
that'd be interesting, but it probably won't happen because he's not the only one writing the series. He has editors and
yeah, they're gonna force him down the more traditional path.
Paying so much attention to his series now because it is one of their golden eggs.
It is literally right behind One Piece consistently, which they needed after, hey, bye Naruto.
We still own the rights to it, so technically Boruto, we get a cut of that, but it's not really going to do as much as it used to. And Bleach is shit. And One Piece isn't quite doing as well as it used to, in fairness.
They lost a lot of their core series. And they lost just a lot of momentum. They had several series in the past that had to get axed that had been long running, like Beelzebub was a big one for a while, but that eventually crashed and burned. So it's they don't have a lot of really big shonen series actually. That like Gintama is playing a big part in keeping them afloat, along with My Hero Academia and One Piece.
Yeah. I imagine they were super happy when Fairy Tail died.
Is Fairy Tail actually dead?
It ended. I think the author is doing some other stuff and might come out with a sequel down the line, but effectively for the time being it's dead, yes.
I ask that because I remember that there was a spin-off focused around the girls of Fairy Tail.
I think Mal talked about it in the Discord that he started a new series and Erza is a character because he does a lot of crossover between series. Like there was a lot of Rave Master stuff in Fairy Tail.
I know,
but yeah,
I read Rave Master. Well,
yeah.
most of it.
So
Until it got bad.
Yeah, there is another series, but it isn't Fairy Tail. It's something different.
Well,
anyway,
we got
was super
off topic.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Who cares?
We're at the state where, because now Casey's read the manga, we're discussing a lot of the broader topics outside of My Hero Academia's shows and episodes, I guess.
Yeah, there's also the problem that I know what's going to happen, and so I also have to dance around it and can't speculate as much as I used to. So, oh well.
But I'm looking forward to next episode.
Yeah.
I hope they get into the next part. Well, they're probably not going to get into the next part of the exam.
No, there's loads of stuff left to go before that.
Yeah.
We haven't looked in on Bakugo and Kirishima yet, so.
I do find it interesting, though. Like a lot of the later stuff, you can tell which of the arcs people remember the most. This is not one of the most memorable arcs, and it suffers from the problem of people reading it week to week. Because when the anime comes out, everybody catches up, and this is the arc they find themselves in. And so this is when the arcs start to feel like they're weaker. Because people are reading them week to week. Whereas if you binge them, it's very different.
Yeah. All right, so that's that episode of stuff that we've done with doing the words.
Later, guys.
Bye.